Welcome back to the Filthy Black Table. I haven't done one of these in a few weeks. Thought you would like a return of the Filthy Black Table. All you Filthy Black Table fans, let me know in the comments. And for those of you who said this table isn't that filthy, look at it. This thing's disgusting. It's a Filthy Black Table. You know what's funny? I was actually talking to my buddy Brian on Twitch, and I said something about the Filthy Black Table series and like the chat, and I think Twitch thought I was making a racial slur, and it censored me. But I'm talking about this table. So sorry, table, but you are a Filthy Black Table. And today we are talking about video game cartridges. Last time I did one of these, I talked about video game boxes. I compared the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, and we had a little fun showdown. I thought it'd be interesting today to compare cartridges from the same console from two different regions. So we're going to compare Super Nintendo cartridges to Super Famicom cartridges. So to start off, we have a standard Super Nintendo cartridge. This is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I've had this copy forever. This is like one of my first games. And yeah, this is a standard Super Nintendo game. It's got the artwork in the middle, kind of squared off. This little hole thing right here, which they both have. I believe it's for the release button, where there's actually a button to push where they pop out and stuff. I think that goes here. I could be wrong. Who cares? Weird brick design on the sides, like with the lines. Gives it a cool stylized look though. A couple screws right there, of course. On the top, you have an in label that wraps around from the label, so you can see the title of the game. So you can put it on the shelf. So if you're looking on your shelf, you know which game is Wing Commander and which game is The Legend of Zelda. You know, it's pretty nice. The back continues this design from the front. It wraps all the way around to the back. Nintendo's engraved in, and it has some warning stuff. You know, don't put the fucking game cartridge in your mouth. You'll choke on it, you know. Cool design overall. Man, this cartridge is dirty. You could tell I've had this cartridge forever, because, God, it looks like I've shit on it. It's got a couple little indents up here. Don't know what that's for. Somebody let me know what these are for. I don't understand. Are they just cool stylized? But yeah, I think it's slightly wider than an NES game. I should have brought an NES game in here. I want to say an NES game is maybe that big. I could be wrong. Just going off memory. Yeah, it's a cool looking cartridge. Nothing looks quite like a Super Nintendo cartridge, of course, except for maybe a Super Famicom cartridge. This is a Mystery Dungeon 2, Shiren the Wanderer, by just Chunsoft. Spike Chunsoft or whatever. All you Dragon Quest fans, jizz in your pants right now over that. Yeah, here is a standard Famicom cartridge. It's a lot smoother looking than a regular Super Nintendo cartridge. A lot rounder too. It's actually got a label that's not wrapped around, which I do think is a point taken away. This reminds me of the damn N64 cartridges, man. Where you know, if I have these on a fucking shelf, you know, you can't tell which one's which. Oh man, I want to play fucking Shiren the Wanderer. Fatal Fury, you know, you can't tell. So that's annoying. The weird brick design's gone. It's got these I guess, whatever those are, little ridges. What are they? Ruffles chips? Two indents and then a little line design. It's still got this thing. That's why I'm thinking this thing is for whatever grips the release button. But I don't know if the Famicom had a release button. That's the thing. I don't think it did. I'm not sure. I don't actually have a Famicom. I have as many Super Famicom games as I do Super Nintendo games, but I have a Retron. That's how I play them. On the back, much of the same. This is still here. Nintendo's up here this time. And the warning's at the bottom. It's probably telling you don't put it in your goddamn mouth. It's also called a cassette, which is hilarious to me, because we do not call these cassettes anymore. A couple more screws. Yeah, so those are your basic designs. And I can lay out a few more games. You know, here's Wing Commander. Here's Fatal Fury. You know, Yoshi's Island, or Yossi's Island in Japanese. Mario World. You know, just kind of to give you a little comparison of the different games. I'm trying to grab. Ooh, actually, I like this one. Yeah, Super Bomberman 4, Donkey Kong Country. You know, there's some cool designs on both ends. I think they both have a unique, cool design. The pluses for the North American cartridges, the end label is a big one. I think that is a huge one. Actually, I think this is... Oh, I just noticed. This one doesn't have this. Hold on. Look at that. They're different. It still looks like that's where the release thing would go, though. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Some of them have him, and some of them don't. I do like the more roundish design of the Super Famicom games. I think they look just more pleasing from the front, you know, like... you know, all the Bomberman games look very cute with the artwork and the round design on the Super Famicom. While I don't think the artwork looks bad on these, but I don't like the borders around the artwork. All the games have a weird border, you know, and it makes some of them look a little unappealing to me. You know, I think they could have, you know, spread out the artwork to kind of fill it, kind of like that. So I think there's better artwork on the Super Famicom cartridges. Oh my god, look at this fucking Donkey Kong Country 2. Jesus. Yeah, there's better artwork on the Super Famicom cartridges, definitely. But the American ones have the end labels, which I think is very... Oh my gosh, I shit on Super Tennis too. It's very nice looking. So that's a big plus. So 1 for 1. I think, yeah. They're slightly lighter colored. I don't know which one I like more, the darker gray or the lighter gray. It's a good question. You know, I want to play Super Tennis or Super Battle Dodgeball, where the hell this fucking Gundam Dodgeball game is called. By the way, there's a Gundam Dodgeball. I think I like the lighter color of the Super Famicom cartridges, though. Jesus! Whoever owned this one fucking smoked, man. You could tell. The back, I think I like the Super Nintendo because of how it wraps around to the back. I think that's cooler to me. Not really sure. Yeah, that is cooler. So, one up there. I don't understand the ridges on the Super Famicom design. Why does there have to be ridges? You know, the block design is cool because it does wrap around. Kind of gives a cool aesthetic for the cartridge. I think I think the North American cartridges win overall, but I think the cooler cartridge would be if you took the North American design and you put the Famicom artwork on top, like the big artwork, because some of the Super Famicom games have really pleasing artwork. I mean, just like really nice looking artwork, you know, and they don't have to worry about that weird border thing that these do. Like, look at We're Back. We're Back at Dinosaur Story is like that big, the whole artwork, and then the rest of it's shit I don't need to know. I know it's for Super Nintendo. I know this. You don't have to tell me. Like, they don't even use, like some of the designs are very strange, guys. That's my only big problem with the Super Nintendo cartridges, is the wasted space. So much stuff here that you know, could have been filled with cool artwork, or just, I mean, this isn't even cool artwork, but it's just like, it looks nice. It's got the character. It's got the whole thing. Whatever the fucking game this is. I don't even know what game this one is. Is this like... it's by Koei. That's cool. Yeah. So, I think Super Nintendo wins in terms of cartridge design overall, but I like the art on the Super Famicom cartridges the most. Alex, what the thing are you going to talk about next that nobody gives a shit about? Find out next time on the Filthy Black Table.
out.